Why are we doing this? Nobody's making us do this.
So, you want to hike Angel's Landing in Zion National Park? I'll show you what it's really like. First, you'll take the shuttle to the grotto stop. Then, you'll cross the river and hike along following the signs for Angel's Landing. We were able to get on one of the earliest shuttles, so we were one of the first people out there. As you hike along, you'll see the view of where you've been, and there's still a long way to go. Most of the trail is paved or natural rock. Next, you'll come to Walter's Wiggles. This is a series of 21 steep switchbacks. For me, this was the most physically demanding part of the hike, going up and down. After you've conquered Walter's Wiggles, you will come to Scout's Landing. This is as far as you can go without a permit for Angel's Landing. We happened to get there before the permit checker arrived, but they can ask to see your permit at any point in the hike, so make sure you have it handy. After a snack break at Scout's Landing, we press on towards Angel's Landing. This initial part of the hike is very mentally tough because it feels very steep with a long drop-off, and it can be difficult to find your footing at times. There are chains to hold here, but they only provide so much comfort. We saw a handful of people turn back at this point, and I considered doing the same, honestly. We had beautiful weather the morning that we hiked. It was early October, low of 50, high of 73. It rained the night before, which we were concerned might be dangerous, but actually we felt that the damp sand had more traction while we were hiking up than when we went down later after it had dried. A layer of loose sand over the slick rocks makes it very, very easy to slip and fall.
What do you mean this doesn't look bad? This looks awful. Can we pause? I need to just breathe a second.
The elevation is much higher than what I'm used to at home, so I had to take many breathing breaks despite being a frequent hiker.
Why are we doing this? Nobody's making us do this. You know? Yeah, like this is fine. I wish there was no sand on the rocks, but this I can handle. God, Jesus. We can turn back at any moment. Oh, God.
There are steep drop-offs throughout this trail, so it's a serious challenge for anyone with a fear of heights. Some of the drop-offs are over 1,000 feet. This is when it's really nice to have an early permit and arrive at the trailhead as early as possible because we ran into traffic jams on the way down and the trail's only wide enough for one person in some places, so it can be tricky.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's like, I don't feel like it's even that strenuous. I'm just like scared. Oh God. don't start singing songs. I'm woozy. I need to stop for a second.
Luckily, the wooziness didn't last long, and I was ready to go again soon. I'm not sure what it looks like if you need to be rescued off this hike, but I don't plan to find it the hard way. My entire body was sore after this hike. Since I couldn't climb mountains in Kansas to prepare, I just wish I had done a lot more upper body strength training because I was actually pulling myself up at times.
One of the best hikes in the country, I think.
Yeah. One of the scariest things I've ever done.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
I'm gonna be all bruised up after this trip. How the hell do you get up this? Oh God. I didn't really realize I should have been doing an upper body workout.
Success! We made it to the top of Angel's Landing. There were several hikers already there hanging out, and a chipmunk was working hard to steal everyone's snacks. They will climb all over you and your bag in the process, but don't freak out, it's okay. I also found this tiny roaming gnome up there. This was a nice spot to take a rest and eat some more snacks while contemplating how terrible the hike down might be. There was enough room up there, but it slopes down, so I didn't get too close to the edge.
It's just insane. Well, I don't love this.
Hiking down was not nearly as bad as I made it out to be in my mind, but it still was not easy by any means. The worst part was getting through the traffic jam since the trail had become considerably more crowded. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I was absolutely terrified throughout this entire hike. I typically only have a fear of man-made heights, so I freak out climbing a ladder to paint the house, but I can stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon with no problem. But I am a pretty clumsy person, and here it's one wrong move and you're done. In fact, there have been deaths on this hike, so it really is important to respect the danger and not downplay it. This was the scariest hike I've ever done, but it was also my favorite day on our 2-week-long trip in southern Utah, and I'm so glad I did it. The views were gorgeous and I felt so accomplished afterwards, but I have no intention of doing it again, so I'll save the lottery spots for all you guys.
This sucks. Okay.
There's quite a few hikes under here that are 2013 or 6 or 8 miles. Well, this is steeper.
Right,
But just not, yeah.
Thank you, Tree, for being here. I appreciate your services.
Thanks to TVDs. No, you are fine. Hang on, I can't get up there. Okay,
We didn't die.
we're not down yet. Okay, true.
Now, you can't push me because you're swimming.
My legs are shaking. I feel like everybody's always like, oh, it's not that bad. It's tough, but it's not that bad. I'm gonna tell people straight up, it's terrifying.
That's what
You,
Carol said.
you're gonna think you're gonna die.
Just coming down.
Yeah,
All these people are up there now.
my hands smell like rocks. Oh God, I can breathe again.